Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. It's Monday, February the 25th. Today, if my mouse will work, is National Chocolate-Covered Nut Day. Those are good.
I love chocolate-covered nuts.
Mm-hmm. I think I kind of love chocolate-covered everything. That's
sadly.
maybe my problem. It's also National Clam Chowder Day today. Noticed you didn't love that.
No, I don't believe I've ever even had clam chowder.
I don't know if I have either. We have chocolate-covered nuts and that for lunch. Coming up today on my Movie Star Monday, I have Daytime Emmy Award-winning actor Maurice Benard. Now, he's been on the cast of General Hospital as Sonny since 1993. And even before that, he first went to California and was on a program called All My Children. He was Nico Kelly way back then. And then he's been in a movie where he portrayed Desi Arnaz for a movie about Lucy and Desi. And now he's in a new movie that's just came out like a week ago on Lifetime. It's called Victoria Gotti, My Father's Daughter. And he gets to portray John Gotti. I'm looking forward to chatting with him. He's done a really good job. I saw the stuff online. He did a great job.
It's pretty cool. That's quite the career he's got
It
there.
is. And think about the difference between Desi Arnaz and John Gotti.
Yeah.
But he did a great job on both. Coming up, we'll be chatting with him on our Movie Star Monday.
Do you have a pretty good sense of humor? You might like this. Early in the morning each day and every day, we share something weird to make people laugh at weirdgiftoftheday.com. You don't need to sign up for anything. You don't even need to spend a penny. Just follow the page on Facebook and get a smile to start each day when we share the weird gift of the day. Not on Facebook? That's okay. You can see the weird gifts on our website too. weirdgiftoftheday.com. That's weirdgiftoftheday.com.
Now, surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.net. A new study from New Zealand found that people are happier if they work 4 days a week instead of 5 days a week. Really, New Zealand? You needed to do a study to find that out?
I think that's kind of common sense.
If you got to pick your schedule and you had to work 40 hours a week, but you got to pick which 40, how would you do it? Would you want to do 4 days in a row like that? Or
Yeah, I would rather do 4.
Here's what I think would make a ton of sense. Now, keep the weekend off, but then work Monday, Tuesday, then get Wednesday off, and then work Thursday, Friday. So if you work 2 days, take a day off, work 2 days, take 2 days off.
It would be too hard to get, because then you'd have 2 Mondays every week.
I don't think you'd never have any Mondays, because it's like, I only got to work for 2 days. It'd be like you have a couple little, I don't know, who knows? It don't matter. We're here every day, so... all the time. Just kidding. I love what I do. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show. Credit cards. For years, I didn't use credit cards. We paid off all of our debt and we quit using credit altogether. But then our credit score went down. It was affecting our insurance rates. Not sure why, but that's tied to your credit score. I'm not suggesting you rack up credit card debt just to rack up credit card debt. But my wife and I now each use a credit card and then we pay them off every month. It's helped our credit score. But not all cards are the same. Some cards are better than others. If you'd like to find one that's the best fit for you, check out BetterCreditCards.net. That's BetterCreditCards.net. And this is your brain on drugs. An Alabama man with a unique name is locked up after felony narcotics possession charge that followed his arrest. 19-year-old Blue Barry Hill. He was busted February 3rd at a traffic stop. He was arrested for possession of methamphetamines and drug equipment and nabbed by the office, the sheriff's office there. Booked into jail, and they gave the name Blue Barry Hill. Now, the thing is, there was a song called Blueberry Hill.
Yes, there was.
Made by popular by Fats Domino, and then it was recorded also by Led Zeppelin, Celine Dion, Vladimir Putin even did a version of it, and Bing Crosby. Also, one of my favorite versions is Louis Armstrong's version.
That's the only one I know, I think.
So, Blueberry Hill is his real name. And
well, there you go.
I think
that is interesting.
But you got to keep in mind, if you got a last name, like our last name is Small, we were really careful what to name our kids. If you have a kid if your last name is Hill, maybe you don't go with Blueberry.
No.
But then again, I think it's kind of cool. But he still did something dumb under the influence, and that's what happens when your brain is on drugs.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com. ABC has signed George Stephanopoulos to a multi-million-dollar deal. He has helped Good Morning America become a hit show once again. So they say, hey, we're going to pony up some cash for you. I think that's a good thing. And then Chris Helmsworth. You know who that is, right? He's an actor.
Yeah, I think so.
He is
yeah.
now going to be taking on the role of Hulk Hogan in a new biopic.
Really?
Yeah, Helmsworth would play the wrestler during his early years. I didn't see that at all. When I'm looking at him going, doesn't really look like him to me.
Well, maybe in his early years,
I
maybe.
don't know. Must
I
have
don't
been
know how
really
early.
Yeah. I
When he was a teenager.
I like Chris,
I do too.
and I like Hulk Hogan. And I grew up watching wrestling as a kid, and I remember one of the most iconic moves ever in wrestling was Hulk Hogan picking up Andre the Giant over his head. You remember that?
No.
Well,
I really do not
It was
remember that.
It was during WrestleMania, and it was unbelievable. And I just can't see Chris Helmsworth doing that. I don't know. It is me. This is Big Screen, Little Screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com. P.S. I love Chris Helmsworth. I just don't see him as Hulk.
Join us in Las Vegas for 80s in the Desert. Hear awesome 80s music from Scandal, featuring Patti Smythe, A Flock of Seagulls, Richard Page of Mr. Mister, Tony Lewis from The Outfield, Pretty Poison, Thomas Dolby, and more. Also, meet people from your favorite 80s movies, like Robert Hayes from Airplane, E.G. Daily from Valley Girl, and more. May 3rd and May 4th. Get more info now at 80sinthedesert.rocks. Use promo code RADIO to save $25 per ticket.
Now, your scoop of the day, brought to you by BetterCreditCards.net. Ariana Grande is in the news. This is actually quite the feat here. She is the first artist to earn the top 3 spots on the Billboard Hot 100 since 1964.
Really?
Yeah, she's got the top 3. You know who it was that did that in 1964? It was?
I don't know.
The Beatles, Heidi.
Oh. I thought you said first female artist.
No, she's the first artist to earn the top 3 spots on the Billboard Hot 100 since the Beatles did it in 1964. It would help if you'd listen to her. I only can say that because she picks on me all the time. Usually it's because I go to post something on our Facebook page, and 45 minutes later I'm still on Facebook. She's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I have no idea. I got sucked into social media once again. The baseball world is buzzing. We're not sports folks here. We don't really talk sports, but I thought this was worth a mention, Heidi. Manny Machado, again, we don't know sports, so I might be saying all of that wrong. He signed a 10-year, $300 million deal with the San Diego Padres. That's pretty cool.
Huh.
$300 million.
Don't you think?
I think it's awesome. I'm not going to complain because here's the thing. If he's a good baseball player and he's worth it, then what does it matter to me? It doesn't matter. Does it affect you in any way?
It doesn't affect
There
me,
you
but
go.
I kind of feel like...
Here's where there's a complaint. When it gets so expensive you can't take your kids to a game anymore, and they're like, why are you going to charge $18 for a hot dog and a beer? And you're like, well, we're paying that guy $300 million.
Right.
So, again, we're not sports people, so I'm going to put a sock in it so I don't make somebody
Take your
mad.
kid for a hot dog and a beer, huh?
No, I'm saying if you're taking... I meant take the kid to the game, and you have the hot dog and the beer. Maybe you share the hot dog, depending on the family. See why we don't talk about sports? I don't know nothing about nothing. I'm going to move on to a safer subject here. Custom and Border Protection agents in Texas reported that they confiscated $12.7 million worth of methamphetamines, and this was at the Far International Bridge going to Mexico. Agents found the drugs on Saturday in a commercial tractor trailer carrying frozen strawberries. A 42-year-old Mexican national was arrested and turned over to Homeland Security. Holy cow. $12.7 million. That's, I don't know, that seems like a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And, again, I'm
glad they caught him.
Me too. I've never bought meth, so I don't know what $12.7 million will get you, but apparently it fits in a tractor trailer if you cover it with frozen strawberries. A couple of cows, 3 to be quite precise, 3 cows wandered into a grocery store in Hong Kong and began eating everything in sight. Can you imagine walking into the grocery store and there's just cows in there eating in the produce section?
You would think somebody could herd them out.
Well,
They
I
just
think
let
they
them...
did, but they just wandered in, and then people were like, "Wow, you guys really do have fresh meat here. It's very fresh." Samsung just unveiled their new Galaxy phones, and one of them is a foldable phone. It's about a $2,000 phone.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Yeah, most likely we won't have one of those.
Probably not. I love my phone, so I don't really want to change. And I know there's, 2 or 3 upgrades since this one?
Yeah, you definitely need to.
I do need to get, but I don't want to because everything that's on here, I like it the way it is, and I don't want to change, so you can't make me. unless you
Okay.
make me. But one of these days, I know I'm going to have to change. Can't use this rotary flip phone much longer. So. No, this new Galaxy Fold will be in stores in late April. The company says it's called the Fold. It will give you the portability and functionality of a cell phone with the multimedia experience that you get from a tablet. So, like in the tablet form, the Fold features a 7.3-inch display. So, it's a thing that's like small and you can stick it in your pocket, but then when you get it out, you open it up and it's bigger and has a keyboard and all of that. So I think it's kind of a neat idea. $2,000 though?
Oh yeah, that's insane.
I'm just not ready to do that. I don't know. This is your scoop of the day. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Monday.
Do you have IRS tax problems? Are they keeping you up at night? Afraid to open your own mail or even answer your telephone? If your tax problems are affecting your family life, you need to know you have options. You have rights. And we'll make sure you get them. Call and speak with Mike Habib, the tax expert who will handle your case at 877-78-TAXES or online at myirs.taxrelief.com. That's 877-78-TAXES or myirs.taxrelief.com.
Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show. We've got a special guest joining us today, and for those of you who watch General Hospital, you know him as Sonny. The rest of the world knows him as Maurice Benard, and we've got him on the line right now. How are you, sir?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
Very good. I know there's a ton of people right now that are super excited to hear from you because they're big fans, and they also, I think they need to know about this new movie you're doing. You get to play John Gotti, and what is it like to play a real-life person like that and somebody that is kind of a bad guy, really, right?
Well, I never see anything as good or bad. I just kind of, I played two famous people in my career, Desi Arnaz and John Gotti. And it's the most pressure as far as anything I've done because you have to honor the families and this and that. John, I just had to connect to something. What I connected was his loyalty to his family, the love that he had for his family. He's a man of the people. And there's a certain intensity that I believe he had that I kind of was born with. I don't know if that's good or bad, but for playing these characters, it's good.
That's really cool. The movie is called Victoria Gotti, My Father's Daughter. It's a Lifetime movie. It's out right now, and you get to play the lead role. But the thing that's really cool, it was actually put together by the Gotti family. So I think that's really kind of neat that you worked with the family. What was that like when you're working with the family and you're portraying their dad?
Well, the beautiful thing about the story, and that makes it different, is that Victoria Gotti is narrating it, and it's through her eyes, through her words, and you can never say that's not true, because she lived it.
Yeah.
That's what I love about the movie. All I wanted to do was try to make John Gotti human.
When it comes to doing something like that, like you said, that's difficult when you're portraying a real character. How different was it when you were portraying Mr. Arnaz in a different film? That was a true character, but he's, long since gone, compared to John Gotti, where, this is very, very recent. Is there a big difference between those two?
Well, you have to understand with Desi, he kind of talk like that,
Yeah.
Come on, Lucy.
Yeah.
Lucy, I'm home. And with John Gotti, it was like, I'm John Gotti, you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you had to get the voice and this, and I didn't have a lot of reason. There's nothing on John Gotti in YouTube except two things, and only one that I could use. That was all I had. I get the role on a Saturday, and 48 hours later, I'm flying to Canada to do the movie.
Oh, wow. So that happened really quick. Is that pretty typical that it happens that quick?
No, I don't think that quick, but especially for a role of this magnitude, but it did. And but I believe truly that the challenge and the difficulty and me having to work, grind, made me better.
Yeah.
If I thought it was somewhat easy, I probably wouldn't have worked as hard. And I had to work that hard on the first day. I didn't have time beforehand. So I was grinding the first day till it ended 3 weeks later.
That is amazing. Again, the movie is out. It just recently came out. It's a Lifetime movie, Victoria Gotti, My Father's Daughter. Came out on Saturday, February the 9th. So it's like I said, fairly new, and you'll see it on that channel. I love the fact that they play these over and over and over. So if people have maybe missed it, they have a chance to see it. Now, let's talk. I think I would be probably booed off the stage of my own program if I don't talk to you a little bit about General Hospital. How long have you been playing the character Sonny on General Hospital?
25 years.
So when you go places, are there people who come up to you that think you are Sonny?
Yeah.
because I've actually talked to people where they think it's a reality show, and I have to kind of go, no, they're playing a character, and it's almost like they think that that's a real person. I think that's more and more common with daytime dramas, isn't it?
Yeah, because you're on every day. How many actors can say they've been on a show every week for 25 years?
Yeah.
So you become part of people's family and friends and this and that. And now, it's only recently that people now say Maurice Benard.
Yeah.
But before it was just Sonny.
Yeah.
But I love it. My fans have been there from day one when I did All My Children, and they've just been there for 30 years. And one thing about I got something on Instagram tomorrow, my @Maurice Benard Instagram. It's a secret about the movie that's on Lifetime. I'm going to put that out, and then later on, I'm going to be on with Victoria on my Instagram Live.
Oh, that's awesome. That is fantastic. We'll throw a link to all of that in our show notes. Maurice, thank you very much for taking the time to chat with us.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Again, Maurice Benard. The movie is on Lifetime Television. Victoria Gotti, My Father's Daughter, premiered Saturday, February the 9th. And like I said, you'll see it. I love the fact they play those over and over and over. So if you missed it, you'll be able to catch it. Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show. We've got a link to all of that in the show notes at johnandheidishow.com. Credit cards. For years, I didn't use credit cards. We paid off all of our debt and we quit using credit altogether. But then our credit score went down. It was affecting our insurance rates. Not sure why, but that's tied to your credit score. I'm not suggesting you rack up credit card debt just to rack up credit card debt. But my wife and I now each use a credit card and then we pay them off every month. It's helped our credit score. But not all cards are the same. Some cards are better than others. If you'd like to find one that's the best fit for you, check out bettercreditcards.net. That's bettercreditcards.net. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Zombies do exist. Well, kind of. Zombie spiders, maybe? It's a type of Costa Rican wasp that attracts a local org spider and then paralyzes it. From there, it lays eggs in the spider's abdomen.
Ew.
The spider wakes back up until about 2 weeks later when the larvae start growing in the spider's belly. And then they take over the spider's brain and cause the thing to create a strange web. And then they burst out of the spider and use the web to create their own wasp nest. So that is weird. Again, some of these fun facts are a little less fun and a little more freaky.
That's absolutely disgusting.
Freaky fact for you, Heidi.
Where are those things?
They're in Costa Rica. So one more place on the list of things I don't need to do.
Yeah.
I used to think I wanted to go there. I'm like, not so much. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Join us in Las Vegas for 80s in the Desert. Hear awesome 80s music from Scandal, featuring Patty Smythe, A Flock of Seagulls, Richard Page of Mr. Mister, Tony Lewis from The Outfield, Pretty Poison, Thomas Dolby, and more. Also, meet people from your favorite 80s movies, like Robert Hayes from Airplane, E.G. Daily from Valley Girl, and more. May 3rd and May 4th. Get more info now at 80sinthedesert.rocks. Use promo code RADIO to save $25 per ticket.
Now, fear this. It's fun with phobias. You might actually have this, Heidi. Insectophobia. What do you think that is?
Fear of insects.
Yeah, we were just talking not too long ago about these zombie spiders of Costa Rica, and you were pretty squirmy over there.
I don't have a fear of all insects, but that particular one, that's pretty nasty.
Yeah, it's not really my thing. If you missed that, I've got a link to it in the show notes. You can find that if you click the giant thing on the top of the page that says show notes at johnandheidishow.com.
Do you have a pretty good sense of humor? You might like this. Early in the morning each day and every day, we share something weird to make people laugh at weirdgiftoftheday.com. You don't need to sign up for anything. You don't even need to spend a penny. Just follow the page on Facebook and get a smile to start each day when we share the weird gift of the day. Not on Facebook? That's okay. You can see the weird gifts on our website too. weirdgiftoftheday.com. That's weirdgiftoftheday.com.
Now, some weird news brought to you by weirdgiftoftheday.com. Should we take a look at our weird gift for today?
Sure.
It is a interesting popcorn popper. I don't know why that's so weird. It's just different, maybe.
Different how?
It's like a foldable, flexible thing that you throw in the microwave, and then it pops your popcorn, and you have like a bucket. I don't know. It's actually kind of a neat gift. I don't think that one's so weird. Weird
and you
news,
just fill it with your own popcorn then?
I think so. I don't know.
Huh.
Can I get to the weird news?
Well, I kind of want to know about this popcorn.
There's a link. WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. Okay, a Florida man has been arrested for slapping a woman with a bowl of chili. Now, wait a second.
What is
here.
up with all of these
This is
food
so
assaults?
bizarre. This is like, what, the fourth one now?
It's insane.
This is a 33-year-old man. I don't understand why this happened, but they smacked somebody with a bowl of chili. The victim stated that the raging lunatic then pulled her out of her car by her hair and began to hit her in the face. I just don't get it. So
Whatever.
there's more details. I'm done with it. I'm not going to read all of that because I think it's ridiculous. The person was arrested, by the way, with battery, aggravated assault, and larceny. I don't understand why you would assault somebody with a bowl of chili or anything.
Or burritos.
People need to just calm down, all right? Weird News, brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
John and Heidi.
Now your moment of duh, brought to you by FunkyMonkeyShirts.com. An aide to U.S. Congressman from Louisiana was busted in a prostitution sting last weekend. Ooh, that's not good.
No.
47-year-old Jared Prunty, who works for Clay Higgins, was charged with 2 counts of pandering. Pandering? It was in a... I'm trying to read all the details here. I don't think all of this stuff needs to be on the radio. It was at a massage parlor and 3 different houses where things were going on. Anyway, he knew what he was doing. It wasn't like he accidentally, I thought I was picking up Girl Scout cookies. What? So I think it says here, we are shocked and saddened to learn of the allegations against Jared. His arrest is deeply troubling. So the thing is, there are people trying to hold this against the person that's in office. It wasn't the person in office that did it. It's an aide to that person. How do you possibly police every single thing everybody who works for you does?
Yeah.
So I think it's unfair, no matter which side of the aisle you're on. Again, we don't talk politics here, and I don't know. I purposely don't care which side of the aisle this person's on. But it's not fair to pin that on the representative, is it?
I mean, unless
if they were there together,
right, or
somehow involved,
right?
But if he's not involved, I just don't get it. But people are freaking out about that one right now. I've got it in our moment of duh in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com. Credit cards. For years, I didn't use credit cards. We paid off all of our debt and we quit using credit altogether. But then our credit score went down. It was affecting our insurance rates. Not sure why, but that's tied to your credit score. I'm not suggesting you rack up credit card debt just to rack up credit card debt. But my wife and I now each use a credit card and then we pay them off every month. It's helped our credit score. But not all cards are the same. Some cards are better than others. If you'd like to find one that's the best fit for you, check out bettercreditcards.net. That's bettercreditcards.net. Now, these 3 things. Heidi, tell me, what do these 3 things have in common? A guitar, ice, and pick. So I said a guitar. It's actually just guitar, ice, pick. I'm sorry, tooth. Let me try that again. Guitar, ice, tooth.
Would it be pick?
Yeah. What could they possibly have in common? Guitar pick, ice pick, toothpick, and apparently pick.
And I'm sorry, but those are misleading because they don't have they don't have anything in common.
Well, the common
but
denominator
if you put
they're
the
all
word
types of
pick behind
pick.
them,
That's what this game is, Heidi.
no. What you would say is, what does guitar pick, toothpick, and ice pick have in common? Well, the thing they have in common is they all have the word pick with them. You don't
Guitar,
say, what do
ice,
these 3
tooth.
things have in common? Well, if
They're
you
all
add the
types of
word
picks.
pick to that, they all have pick in common.
Heidi don't like this because she's just no good at it.
No, it doesn't make any sense. They have nothing in common.
Okay. Coming up, we've got
Stupid game.
I love that it makes you so mad. We've got some good news coming up. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. It comes your way courtesy of 80sinthedesert.rocks. I always got to say that slow because I always almost mess it up. It's the same people who do 80s in the sand, so I always want to say that one. And The last 2 years, Heidi and I have gone to 80s in the Sand. It's been so much fun. This is the first time they've done this event. It's coming up May 3rd and 4th in Las Vegas, Nevada.
We're going again because it is such a great time. And
We had a lot of fun.
And we have met friends that are family now.
Oh, yeah. There's met some really cool people. I've got a link in the show notes to the thing, and if you use promo code RADIO, there's a bit of a discount. Now let's get to our good news. This is such a cool story. Powerlifter hailed as Hulk hero after he lifts the Jeep off an injured driver that was trapped underneath. How cool is that? Yeah, Ryan Belcher may not have had green skin, but boy, he sure became the Hulk, and that's what everybody's calling him nowadays. The 29-year-old powerlifter owns a gym in Michigan, and thanks to a strict regimen of working out 5 days a week, he was capable of deadlifting and bench pressing hundreds of pounds, and his muscles were put to a real test when he heard a crash outside of his gym. He went out there and he found a person was stuck underneath of a Jeep that had flipped upside down. He got up there and realized this guy was pinned underneath. He grabbed the Jeep and picked it up so the guy could get out from under it. How cool is that?
Maybe he should be playing Hogan.
Yeah. Probably. We were talking about Hulk Hogan biopic, and Chris Hemsworth going to play him. That was earlier in the show. If you missed that, well, you missed out. It says, from there, I kind of just got tunnel vision, and I grabbed the back, and there was a window smashed out. I lifted it up and started pushing. So how cool is that? He managed to move a 2-ton vehicle just enough so the man could be freed. Paramedics arrived at the scene and transported the man and the other driver to the hospital. Unbelievable
Dude's
story.
a hero.
Absolutely, he's a hero. I've got a link to the whole darn thing. He says, I like being called Hulk. My son's favorite is the Hulk. Now his son gets to say, my dad is the Hulk. So he says, I'm a hero. To those who say I'm a hero, I don't know. I'm just glad I was there, and I was put there for that very reason. I think that's cool, too.
That's pretty cool.
I think it's a really cool story. I've got a link to it in the show notes at johnandheidishow.com. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Monday.